Oh, goodness. Large and large. There we go. Bit of fluff. So what's happening, guys? How's it going? So I am today squatting, benching and deadlifting. I'm now back to going heavy, so I'm hoping this is me now going to start the peak. So because I deloaded, I'm ramping basically a wee bit back up. But of course I'm actually going to bring out all my equipment. Because for the next so many weeks I'm actually going to do the simulated stuff. So I've got these, I've got that. I'm going to even start wearing the shoes. Why is that on? That should be what I'm now. Okay. Should I look at these notes? So for the next 5 weeks I'm going to be literally doing a lot of these stuff, simulating. Right, so the bar is 65. Oh my god, what is wrong with this, man, this cable? Yeah, I'm gonna see if this works now. Right. So it's a bar, adding 40, adding 30, adding 30, adding 30, adding 20. Okay. Right, let's watch this. My hair's all over the place, but oh well. Let's go again. Oh, it was only 5 I was supposed to do. I did 6. Didn't I? I suppose it's it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did 6 by mistake. Oopsie daisy. Oh, now I'm doing a triple. To be fair, I'm ready to go again. Let's just go. So I'll do 120, I'll do 150, and then I'll do my weight. Goodness. I'll just give myself a wee bit more rest. I'll probably do 4 sets without my equipment and then put on 2 sets with the equipment. I would do. Right, I'm ready to go now. So I'm only doing one. I'll be single. Sapling Teddysaurus Rex. How's it going? Let's look at that 120. Okay, that is parallel, I'd say. Okay, so it's 150 now. $150 now. So it's time to put on all the gear. So this is left. That is right. Oh, that's just squint on. Hold on. Hold on. No, we're better. I'm gonna sneeze. There we go. I actually need a fart, so. Oh my goodness. Hi, brah. Lao, hi, brah. I asked for a refund, I want to hear the answer. Ghost to. Or Ghost of Andreas. Some game. What the fuck are you spouting? Right, let's get this set. Okay, I need the belt tighter. Wasn't too bad. Hey Google, set a timer for 6 minutes.
Alright, 6 minutes. Starting now.
Seems okay. Right, so I want to be done this quite sharp. What am I doing anyway? Oh, I'm only benching 2 sets and deadlifting 2. I'll have this done quick. Just allow my legs and that to relax a bit. Oh. Turn that volume off. Right, timer's almost up. Read the next wee well, yeah, my next set. Wait, did I do 180 yet? I don't think I did. That was on 150. Oh, my brain's up my arse, man. Yeah. Oh. Twix 2G, thank you for the follow, much appreciated. Right, let's get this set done. Stop. So we're going for 3 singles of this. Not the best form there. Hello, hello. Hey Google, timer, 6 minutes. Not the best movement there. Foot positioning was all off. Definitely hit depth. Still got a minute and a bit. What warm-up stretches do you do before squats? Zero. I don't do any warm-up stretches. Because if you stretch a muscle before you're about to put it through strenuous activity, it can lack in the amount of force you can produce. So you're always best to stretch after a squat if you want to stretch. Beforehand, you just warm up by, you can do some like dynamic movements and then just warm up doing a bunch of warm-up sets of squats. Afterwards, you can do stretching, but if you stretch, you shouldn't stretch before you train. Dynamic movements to get the joints and the working mobile and warm, yes, but you don't want to put yourself through strenuous stretching. Time to go again, but I want to try and get a much better position. I don't know if that was depth there. Don't know. Was that depth? Yeah, it was definitely depth. Move smooth. Move smooth. Ooh. I'm just watching my squat, because it did feel very odd. Two seconds, guys. Back again. Oh, somebody had to grab something. Lauren had to grab all your makeup in. Nearly an hour in. I'm about to go again in a wee second. The sooner I know my flights, the better, man. Right. We're ready to go. Let's get this. Let's just move super strong. Okay, that moved well. Another timer of 6. I'm on to 160 now. Okay. Let's just see how that went, how fast that moved. Let's see, I'm watching my squat. Down. Yeah, that's defo hip below parallel. Yep. No, there was no sticking point actually. A wee sticking point there, but it wasn't even really a sticking point, it was just a wee knee adjustment. Everything went up fluidly. Okay. Good. That'll be another few minutes. Like what I want to do is I want to get 5 of 160. That's what I'd like to do. Whether I do it or not is another thing. So keep that there. Let's look at so that was my deload I done because I had to, because my hip flexor was really sore. So I was up on 166. I could easily do 170 for 4, but I'm not doing that. $160, and we'll just see what we get. Still got 2 minutes. 2 sets of this, warm up, 2 sets of squats, warm up, 2 sets of deadlift. I might even use, for sumo, I might even use my figure 8 straps. Just because it's the purposes of training, it's not doing any singles or anything. So I'm just relaxing just now. Let's see, I want to get 5. Let's get this. good. Good. First one didn't feel the best, but I got into that rhythm. Oh, damn. See, I had a bit of, I was quite footery there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. Let myself chill. Oh, goodness. That was some set there. Right, let's nosy at who else is streaming. Damn, that's a good fucking bench. Fucking 130. Decent. Snoozing at this. Oh, I love it, it's like the pure wee fucking garden chair as his rest. That's pretty cool. Cool. I'm just nosing at other things just now. Oh.
My bad.
Close that. Volume, don't hit volume. How long have I been doing powerlifting for? Technically 2.5 years. It'll be 3 years at the end of December. The end of the year. I've been training with weights. I've been training with weights since I was 14, but it's mostly just like bodybuilding, calisthenics, just flying about. What's your advice? So what I'm thinking about getting into it, what's your advice? For powerlifting, it's brilliant. It's an excellent self-development sport and it's good when you get to compete against other people, but it's not even like, when you're competing against other people, it's not like a competitive thing where it's like you have to be how do I put it? It's not like a combat sport where you have to be aggressive against your opponents and stuff like that. You can be quite chill with people. It is a very togetherness sport. So even say when you're competing against other people, you'll possibly be warming up against your opponents and stuff. So you get a chat to them. It's very quite friendly and stuff. So it's a very good togetherly sport. And it is a longevity one as well. The gear is impressive. Thank you. I'll wait till the ad's over. Oh goodness. I'll do my set, then I'll chat. Let's get this. Let's get this. 5, I want 5. Good. Oh. No, aye. So as I was kind of telling 2 seconds, catch my breath. No, powerlifting is good because it's not like as combat sports where you're fighting your opponent and you need to be actively trying to beat your opponent. In powerlifting, it's more just all about self-development. And even though you're competing against people, see when you're warming up, you're in the back room warming up with your opponents, chatting to them, just getting advice off the more experienced ones and stuff. Even though you're competing against them, there is competitive points, but it is a very chill environment and friendly. Like I can easily say in my 2 and a bit years of competing and doing probably 6 competitions, I've actually not met a person that would addict to me. Oh, goodness. So, and also as I said, but it's a longevity. Powerlifting is a longevity sport, so you can do it. Technically you can do any sport well into your older times, but powerlifting is one of those ones you can do well and far into your 60s, 70s and even 80s, I'd say. Of course you're not going to be as strong and you have a bit of reduction and stuff, but it's still something you can do. Goodness. Right. And with powerlifting, you don't need to have all the gear and have all this and that. You can literally just train at a public gym and then go and try and do a competition. So you don't even need the belt, the knee sleeves and all that sort of stuff. All you need technically to get into competition is competition t-shirt, singlet. That is like the bare minimum. Of course you'll need like a shoe, probably a flat if you want to just go the cheapest the cheap. A flat soled shoe for just both squatting and deadlift. But some people prefer squatting in a squat shoe with an elevated heel, so it just depends. But you can spend a bunch of money in powerlifting as well, like myself. Belt, knee sleeves, multiple knee sleeves, wrist straps, a full gym. I'm in New Zealand. I'm in New Zealand. You have to pay a yearly membership fee of $140. To me, that seems pretty cheap, but I don't know the conversion rate of New Zealand currency. What is New Zealand's currency? New Zealand dollar to pound. So 140 you said. Here, that is in the terms of Great British pounds. So if it's New Zealand dollars, it's 140. That's only like £62 here in the UK. So see that 62 quid? Some people pay that a month for a gym membership, depending on average, a gym membership is about 30 quid a month. So you're basically, your yearly membership is equal to about 2 months of a UK membership. So that's nuts. Starting to warm up now a bit. Right. I want to watch that set and then I'll literally just crack on. Let's see. One, two, 3, 4, 5. Cool. Done my 2 sets of 5. Happy with that. And might I say, I'm feeling pretty strong. So when the last time I did 5s were 160? Let's see. So, missed that. fuck, I didn't even... So 1 6 is 4 sets of 5. So I've done 1 6, okay. But this is getting me back into the groove, I guess, so... Aye. Okay. So bench time now. What about coaching? How much do you pay for a coach? I don't have a coach. I am self-trained, self-educated in a sense. I have thought about getting a coach at some points of training, but I'm still going to wait. I know a coach would probably benefit me right from the get-go and stuff like that, but I still feel like I've got a bit of learning to do of my own accord before I get a coach. Because I know a coach would benefit me by having a different perspective on what I'm doing and stuff like that. Like, it's always different. Like, you could know everything, but you could be biased towards yourself or unbiased towards yourself and see things differently compared to what a coach could see. Something that you think you're doing correctly, a coach may tell you otherwise, or give you a different cue or something. There's always a different outlook. But I've always kind of said to myself, I'd like to get myself to a 600 total before I start getting a coach. Do it myself. If I can do it myself, I can say I've got myself to a 600 total myself without the help of anybody, and then that is kind of, when you get to the 600 plus totals, I'd say that's more a higher, it's not elite level, but it's higher at athlete level. Because I'd say the elite level for my weight class is like 700 plus. If you can do a total of 700 plus, that is elite. And then like athlete level, pro athlete level is kind of 600. Me right now, I would say I'm kind of the intermediate, because I'm in the 500s. Amateurs is like 400, beginners like 300. But of course that varies from weight class to weight class. The goalpost can change. Right. Let's just get warmed up. I'm only doing 2 sets, so it's not really too bad. What am I doing? What am I doing? Right, I need to speed this shit up. So I'm doing how many sets? 85. So what's my thoughts on conventional versus sumo deadlift? I personally, I used to, when I first started powerlifting, I was purely conventional, that's all I've done. And recently, I've now decided for this competition to do sumo, because I believe with my body mechanics, I will move more weight sumo. That isn't necessarily saying sumo is easier. By my opinion, I do think it is easier. That's me just saying for my body mechanics, my leg length, my torso length, my arm length, I am better suited, and my hips and stuff, or my hip configuration, so I can say the word there. I am more built for sumo. Because the heaviest I've deadlifted conventional is 217.5 at the house. I've done 215 in competition a few times now, but I have been stuck on 215 conventional for ages. I've not really been focused training it, but I've been stuck on it. Whereas I switched to sumo. I've been doing sumo for probably less than a few months, and I literally pulled like a few singles at 207. Not the most effortless, not like the highest RPE. It was like an RPE. We'll say 8. We'll be realistic, 8. So if I can do a 207 and 8, I can pull much more at a 10. So the only issue that I'm having with sumo is I think it injured my hip flexor a wee bit, just due to lack of mobility and stuff. Well, no lack of mobility, just overuse, I think. Oh. Personally, I do feel like it's, yeah. I think, as you see, if you look at like the weight classes in sumo, see everybody kind of in the heavier weight classes, they will all traditionally pull conventional, because see, the bigger you are, the harder it is for you to get into that sumo position. Whereas the smaller you are, the much easier it is, and the less range of motion and stuff. Say me personally, I've always preferred doing conventional, but seeing it now, pulling kind of, hold on, let me just do this. Pulling sumo is easier. Hey, in which weight class will you start and which total you want to achieve? So, I am competing in the 74 kilo weight class, and total wise, I actually haven't. Basically, my total is going to be anywhere from, I'll give me a wee second, I'll have a look, I've got it on my phone already. Give me a wee second. Sometimes when I fail a lift on conventional, I get frustrated and I attempt it in sumo and pull it instantly. For me personally, conventional and sumo, it's still a hinging movement, but you could nearly call them different exercises, I feel, essentially. But it's still allowed in powerlifting, it's not a separation of it yet. So I feel like at some point maybe, but I don't think so, because it's just gone for so long already. So I think they'll just leave it as is, because it's a bit too niche to change. It's like the bench rule. They made a good rule for the whole elbow and the shoulder joint thing. They'd have to do, if they were to do something like that, it'd be like the bar from the knee and stuff like that, and that just gets really pernickety. Right, so my attempts, so what I've put down so far for my attempts, so my squat, my first one's 190, my second one's 200, and my third one's 205. For bench, it's 110, 115, 117 and a half. And for deadlift, it's 210, 220, 225. So that's kind of my things. So as I say, I will technically total anywhere from, so 190, 110, 210. So I'll total anywhere from 510 to about, let's see, 205, 117.5 plus 225 to 247 and a half. So I've got quite a wide spread of what potentially my total's going to be. My current competition total is 517.5, and my current home total is 530. Aye, so about roughly. I don't think I'm not going to get 550. I would be happy. Cheers, man. I would be happy with a kind of 530 kind of total, I think, if I can get it in competition, because that'll be a 12.5 kilo bump. But cheers, man. What about yourself? I'm guessing you powerlift. What's your kind of stats? Let me just do another wee warm up. So how do you cue your abductors for squats? I'm going to be real, I don't really cue anything when I'm squatting. Like kind of my go-to for squatting is unrack, get the stance that I like, get my toes a bit wider than get my stance into, bring my hips back a bit, and then as I drop down, as soon as my belt buckle touches my thigh, essentially. That's how I cue it. So as I'm coming down, as soon as this buckle digs into my thigh, I've hit depth, and then I just fucking launch up. That's kind of how I cue my depth and all that kind of stuff. And then I keep going, keep my head pointing down as I'm squatting. I'll keep it pointing at an angle, kind of looking at a corner. And as I'm coming up, once I get to a stick point, I'll just lift my head up, and it kind of just drives your whole body up a wee bit. That's my kind of cues. I compete in the 105 and my goal is 600 for August, nice. But will be my first competition for the local competition. And need 630, so we'll do this next year, I think. Good. No, I compete in the 105 class and my goal is 600 for August. No, that's a real, for a 105. If you're a beginner powerlifter, that's a good wee total. And I just say, once you start, don't think about creating bigger totals every single time. Just think about each lift and just improving every time you come into a comp. That is it, 630. So what are you currently doing, may I ask? What's your kind of lift looking like? And then tell me what is your best lifts essentially. Like for me, for example, squatting is easily my best. And then now, because I'm doing sumo deadlift now, it's like squat, deadlift and then bench. My bench has always been very weak. I've never had the strongest bench. True, working on movements is so... Aye. Deadlift's your favourite, nice. Deadlift used to be my favourite, but see, because I just squat like a madman now, squatting is now my kind of bread and butter. Squat's my weakest is my knee. Oh, fucking hell, so your squat is equal to your fucking deadlift? Aye, I'd say your bench is defo the best out of the three. Okay, so may I ask, do you squat deadlift conventional or sumo? I have short legs for the body weight. Well, that could be a good thing. If you've got short legs, that makes it good. Well, fair enough. Right, so short legs is good for conventional deadlifting. See if you've got short legs, a short torso and long arms, you're built for conventional deadlifting. And technically sumo, you're built for both. I would say if you've got a competition coming up, just do what style you're doing, and then maybe as a wee accessory, start experimenting with sumo. Like I was that guy, oh I'm not doing sumo, sumo is also, my arm's also short, aye, so you're kind of catch 22 then. So you might be best doing sumo for deadlifting. Don't just switch because I'm saying so. It's all down to personal preference. Right, let me just get this set done. Because you're in Scotland, have you met the Stoke? So I've not met the Stoke. I've watched them compete. So I've watched them in the Giants live competing, and it was really cool. It was really good. But I've never actually physically met them. I know a few people that I know who've met them because Tom is a big Rangers person and goes and people have met him at football games. But I've not physically met them, but I've watched them compete in the flesh, which is cool. This is a 13mm belt. Aye, he's a fucking unit, boy. Aye. Like, I'm going to Giants Live again this year to watch it, so hopefully they'll be in it again. Is the SBD belt the best? I can't speak for other products because all I've used is SBD, but it's not the most popular thing for no reason, I would say. Like, yeah, if you're going, see, the most expensive thing is SBD. You could get like maybe, I don't know, other like Inza, Aleco, maybe Aleco isn't the greatest, the belts and stuff. They're getting better, but no. A7, there is a few other brands that are IPF thingy, but I just thought to myself, I'm just going for the most expensive, going with the most reliable one as well, because it's the same. Everybody's got SBD, and when you go into a competition, easily 90% is SBD. There is quite a few people who have the strength shot ones. What do you think about banning the Inza and A7 sleeves? So of course I'm not like a ref, a judge or anything. I've never used the A7 or the Inzas. So I think it's a bit shit banning them for 1 year then bringing them back. It just looks like the committee have had no fucking organisation to it all. It just looks a bit like, oh, let's ban it. And then they've just went, oh shit, everyone's fucking going mad, revert it. If they're going to ban something, have the spine to just fucking ban it. Or if not, maybe should have had more discussions before deciding on banning it, because if you're going to bring it right back, it's a bit of a farce in my opinion. And of course the A7, I believe, is cheaper. So it's probably better for a lot of, like, as you say, I see a lot of the uni ones wearing them. The A7 and stuff like that, because they are cheaper. And your best opponent, what do you think he will total? So I've made myself a wee list of my competitors. The only bad thing about it, see, because I'm in the lower weight classes, there's not as many people. So I've got basically, out of 74 kilo weight class in Scotland, there's only 3 of us competing. There is a lot of us competed, but not many people have nominated themselves. I'm guessing people are going for maybe British or higher level stuff, because there is a few boys who are much higher level who could have just walked into this comp and won it without a doubt, but they're probably going to go higher level. So there's 3 of us. So the person who's nominated for third, I'm not going to say names of course, their best total that they've done is a 482.5. So I've put on a 5 kilo to all their best lifts, and I've put their predicted total at a 497.5. Right? So technically I'm beating him regardless. Not being cocky, but if I have a complete bad day, I might not. But that is just me being kind of realistic. And then nominating for second is myself. So my best total was 517.5. And I only put my predicted best lifts a wee 2.5 kilo up, just so that I'm being biased against myself. So that means if I even do even better, then it's much better. So my predicted total is a 530. Okay, and then the person who's rated for first, his best total is a 525, and his predicted total is 545. So you can see how there's a wee bit of crossover. See, if I put myself as like 5 kilos as well as these guys, I only did 2.5 for myself, then I'd have been like a 537. So there's no much of a crossover difference. So, and that's the thing. So the person who's rated for first, he will beat me on deadlift without a doubt. I just need to pull the best deadlift I can, because his best deadlift is 240. So I'm rating that he'll pull to maybe 245. He might even pull more than that, but I've said 245 he'll pull. And then bench, his best bench is 110. I've rated 115 that he'll do. He could do more. Squat is 180. I've said 185. He could do more on all these lifts, and I've not even got a chance. But we'll see, because you can only take it on a day. It's like my last competition. I was wanting to put up all sorts of totals, and I did quite shit. I squatted 195. I benched 112, and I only deadlifted 205 just because I had a really bad day. And I felt bloated, I felt sick. I just wasn't there with it. So, I see, we can only judge ourselves on the moment. What? In the smaller weight classes, everyone squats less than do deadlifts. I think that's just in general, to be fair, my man. But some people are different. When it comes to what is a realistic strength jump, it depends on how long you've been training for. It depends on how big of jumps that you can still make. Like me now, I'm only making very small jumps every year now. Let me just get this set, and I'm on to my sumo. Okay. I've just started. But how long have you been training for in general? Like, how long have you been doing proper hard training for? bench 3 times, deadlift and squat twice a week. That is decent frequency. Like they do say, for benching 3 to 4, for squatting 2 to 3, and deadlift 1 to 2. So no, you've definitely got a good frequency. I'd say 6 months. Right, okay, so you're still a beginner. So you can realistically see some decent jumps. For example, my friend that he's been coming round to train. So his current, so he basically, within the space of a week, maybe we'll say 2 weeks, in a space of 2 weeks, he took his total from 250 to 270 in a space of 2 weeks. That's a 20 kilo jump in 2 weeks. That's because he is a beginner. And I'd say he's been training technically less than yourself. Numbers at the minute. 210, 140, 160. Yeah, powerlift is right. Frequency is more important than volume. You're 112 body weight. Okay. Your deadlift is something that really needs to improve. So, hold on. Unless I've got it the wrong way around, squat is the first lift. Aye, squat's the first lift. Squat, bench, deadlift. Right, squat is weak, right, okay. Your bench is fucking very good compared to your other lifts, so I want to drop weight. Wait, Twix, have you done a competition yet? That's my first question. Have you competed yet? I'm going to take it as a no. See, for your first competition, do not cut weight. No, do not cut weight then. Don't cut. Just enjoy lifting and enjoy learning the competition. So see, my first competition, I never cut any weight. I competed in the 83 kilo class because it's more important to learn the competition than to just do well. You want to try and do well. Do the competition first. Get a feel of what kind of weight class will suit you, and then do it for maybe the next competition. But see, you don't want to do your first competition weight cutting because you might feel drained, you might feel like shit, and the competition might not go well for you, and then that's you just put a sour patch on it. Just enjoy it. Your first competition, it's just enjoy it. Enjoy eating whatever food you want, or eating a nice kind of calorie maintenance or surplus. Compete in a weight class that your weight is already sitting at. Go in, learn the competition, do the competition, gain the knowledge and the experience, and then for the next competition you put it down maybe 6 months down the line. You start slowly cutting. And even if you don't make it the weight class you want to do the same weight class but lighter. And slowly just bring yourself down into it. Aye, but you're not what you want to just build totals. Don't focus on other people for your first competition. That is the wrong way to look at it. Just go in and focus on yourself, improving yourself, and enjoying it. It's like, as I say, my very first competition was a beginner's comp, and I weighed 78 kilos. And then I done my first official competition, still at 78 kilos. And after I done that, I kind of decided, right, I want to go down a weight class because I was a wee bit in the chunkier side, and I was like, well, I'm not going to lose anymore. I'm not really going to realistically on my body frame gain another 10 odd kilos of muscle in the space of that time. So I thought I'm going to bring myself down a weight class because I'm small and lighter. It just made it a bit more sense-wise, even as I get older, so I'm not too heavy and stuff. So, just enjoy the process of training. That is it. Exactly. Powerlift is absolutely right. I forgot to even say thanks for the follow. 5'5.5". So I'm about 165 centimetres. I'm a wee short guy. Right, I'm going to be real with these guys, I need to train quick now. I've got 20 minutes to do 2 sets of sumo. Come on. There we go. So I'm doing 150 for 2 sets. So 167? Ah, okay, aye. I'm 6 foot. There you go, you're much taller than me. I'm a wee short guy. That's what I'm saying. So the way I'm built, I've got reasonably normal sized legs. I've got long ass arms and I've got a tiny body. So I am very well built, kind of for conventional and sumo. Just the way I think the way it goes because my hips. I'm better at pulling sumo because I'm good. I'm quite good at squatting. Right. See if I'm not. Will look great when you take a photo of Tom. Ah, he's like 7 foot. Aye. If I ever do get a photo, I'll definitely do that. I should really wear my deadlift socks for just quickness. We're not putting them on. I can't be asked taking the shoes back off and putting them back on. Do you just train at home? Yeah, all my training's done from home. That is it. Been training at home for 5 years now, essentially, since I've got this house. You know, and see, just for I can't be asked chalking up and all that. I'm gonna use some figure eights. Ah yes, your assistant work is limited, but I think there's enough. See, you're probably gonna give me a wee slap on the wrist here. See, recently I have been doing 0 assistance. I've been mostly just hammering my volume in the squat, bench and deadlift. So volume wise, my weekly volume, I don't know if this is high or not, to be fair. It's just what I've been doing. Nah, no resistance bands. Yeah, like accessory work, I don't do any accessory work. All I've done for the past 12 plus weeks is just squat, bench, deadlift. I do weekly volume, I do 15 sets of squats, 20 sets of bench, about 10 sets of deadlift. So I do 45 weekly volume, that's my volume. But it's all main shit exercises, it's not really any very easy work. So I do quite a bit of volume and I do quite a bit of frequency. So as I say, bench 4, squat 3, deadlift 2. So I do tend to burn out a wee bit sometimes. Like I did last week where my hip flexors got a bit sore. Like I've got a bunch of I've got dumbbells. I can do dumbbells up to 45s each hand. Like I've got all these extra plates. I've got cable stuff. I can do lat pulls and I can do cable rows. I've got an EZ bar. So I do have quite a lot of variation that I can do. It's just right now I've not really been choosing to do them. For me in this sense, I just wanted to do squat, bench and deadlift. Purely for just honing the technique and honing the ability. I'm not saying that I can do 45 each hand, I'm saying, well, I probably could. I'm saying that that is what I can load up to. That's because I've got all these extra small plates. And if I do like a one arm dumbbell row, I can load up the dumbbell up to 55 I think. So I'm just saying what I can, like what I can have. And I've never used figure 8 straps, so we'll see how they go on, how I get on with them. I know you don't use them in powerlifting, but I'm just going to use them for quickness in here for my deadlifts, just so that I don't need to worry about chalk and all that shit and worrying about losing grip and stuff. I've got 15 minutes, so I need to get kind of done in that time. I don't like hook grip. Me personally, I do not like hook grip at all. I feel like it puts too much pressure and pain into the, which is no shit. It puts it into your thumb, it takes my focus away from lifting, because I'm just thinking about my thumb being sore. I just do mixed. Next year I want to compete in a local strongman show too. So I need to do, yeah, strongman is very like, pick up over random shit, aye. Well, that's the only good thing about that is your bench will kind of carry over. Like do incline pressing, overhead pressing, all that kind of stuff. One arm dumbbell, kind of circus dumbbell style stuff. See, that's the only reason. See, if I was 6 foot plus, I probably would be doing strongman because it just seems so much funner. Like I've only tried doing the Atlas stones once and I did up to 75 kilo in the stone. But I had no idea about technique, so I couldn't do the 100 kilo one. Because it was just really awkward. But that's what it is, that's what strongman is, lifting awkward things. Right, let's get this. I'm just kind of get this in done with quick. See, if I wasn't having to go elsewhere, I'd have probably sat and chatted for a good hour or so. But it's just I need to speed up now because got other plans to do. Right. So I'm doing 2 sets of 150 sumo. Let's just try and get in the 8s. I'll go quickly. Just It's 10:47 p.m. in New Zealand. I'm gonna head to bed. It's good talking / meeting you two. I will definitely compete in the next comp. That's it. And just if you need any like, advice and stuff like that, or just ask any questions, or just some gym chat, I'm always here, my man. I normally stream about 4 times a week, but if my mate comes over, I don't stream yet because he still wants to up his list before he's on camera, essentially. But I said, no, it's good chatting to other fellow powerlifters and stuff. No, it's good. Take it easy, we'll get yourself to bed because recovery is important, sleep is important. Okay. Right. Let me just get my sets. Aye, that pure rubbed up your shins, man. Oh. Easy work. Oh. Let's watch that. It felt weird doing it with straps. But as I say, I didn't need to worry about the grip, which was a good thing. If I was doing singles, I wouldn't be wearing straps, of course. I just want to get the work in and not have the chalk and be all messy. Actually, I wasn't even wearing a belt there. I'll wear the belt the next one. That's fine. Open bracket 8, close, open bracket. Few minutes then I'll go, and then that will be me. Yes, I do. I have a girlfriend of nearly 10 years, 9.5 now, pretty much. She also handles me at competitions, so it's quite good. Aye. Oh, she doesn't compete. She just, as I say, she did train when we first started going out a wee bit and then just kind of fell from it. But nah, she still helps. She helps me with all my powerlifting sort of stuff. On the day, she'll basically just do it, have all my wee sheets and stuff, and give me the sheets to hand in and stuff like that. Just keeps on top of it all, and then keeps an eye on the competitors as well and stuff, and see if they're lifting or not lifting. She's actually not interested in competing because I think it is very, like when it comes to guys powerlifting, it is very just chill and that. But I don't know if it's just here because a lot of unis and stuff, but it can be a wee bit cliquey. Just a wee bit cliquey. So she's not the biggest fan of the cliquiness of it. Yeah, there can be quite a few people, aye. It just depends on the areas and stuff. Like, of course, the lighter weight classes are always less, but they've had to reduce the amount of people competing at Scottish Championships now. So there's only, how many people is it? I think it's like 56 people for the men and 56 for the women. So I live in Germany, and even here there's often regional shows that are empty, mate. Aye. So for example, I'll quickly say it before I do my final lift. So right now, for Scottish Championships, I'll kind of go through the weight classes. So I'll go through the men's. So basically for the men's, there's for each weight class there's only 7 spaces, but see if there's less in one weight class, those extra spaces move on to other weight classes. So for example, every single weight class in the men's has got at least one person in it. So in the 59 there's one person, in the 66 there's 3, 74 there's 3, the 83 there's 8, 93 there's 18, in the 105 there's 17, in the 120 there's 12, the 120 plus there's 8. So pretty much every weight class has somebody in it, but it's always the heavy weight classes that are stacked, i.e. the 105 and the 90. They're like the fucking juiciest of classes for people competing in. And that's just the men. Because for the women, there's 2, there's 3, there's 9, there's 10, there's 12, there's 13, there's 12, there's 8. Bit more of an even spread. Yeah, 93 and 105 are always the most people. Yeah. That's my problem for getting first place. Hadrian Campy. Certainly, man. I didn't even see you done a wee flex, but I'll give you a wee quick quad one. Boom. Boom. There you go. Let's get this set done. Done. I think I maybe should have got slightly smaller ones, but it's fine. It's fine. That's me done. I'm going to put the weights away when I get home, just because I need to leave now. I'm going to love yous and leave yous. Whew. And see you all later. Take it easy, guys.